everyone, my name is Ahmad and welcome back to FPL Club for another video. In this video we will be talking about few defenders ahead of Game Week 1 deadline. Depending on your budget and team situation, some of them might be a very good pick for you and some of them could be even a complete avoid. Please make sure to leave a like to the video and subscribe to the channel as there are plenty of contents to come throughout the season. Without any further ado, let's jump into the video. So let's start off with the most expensive defender in FPL this season, Trent Alexander-Arnold. He has been priced 8 million, 0.5 million higher than last season. If you go back and see Trent's last season, it wasn't the greatest season by the high standard that he set. But in the last 8 to 10 game weeks, he was playing more as a midfielder than as a right back, and things started looking better for him. That's probably the reason of the price rise. Liverpool starts the season with the mixture of easy and difficult fixtures. So now the question is it worth it to go past Game Week 1 deadline with Trent in your team? And there is no specific answer to that. You need to draw some scenarios, for example, Trent and the 6.5 million midfielder, or Rashford with a 5.5 million defender. So whatever combination that you think will give you more points is the route that you need to take. But there is a little bit of a risk to go without him because of his ownership, but even if you choose to go without him, it's not the end of the world. Trippier is the second most expensive defender this season. He was actually the highest scoring defender last season, so he's always worth a consideration into your team. But Newcastle is having some difficult fixtures in the beginning 6 game week of the season, and there are lots of cheap and better defender options that we discuss as we move on to the video. So I think Trippier is an avoid, at least for now. It's crucial to have some Chelsea assets in your team as they're showing signs of improvement under their new manager during the preseason. And Chilwell also had a fine preseason. Chelsea's first 2 fixtures against Liverpool at home and West Ham away is not very ideal, but their fixture run will start getting better from Game Week 3 and onwards. So if you wanna bring Chilwell or any other Chelsea assets after that, that's also fine. But if you wanna save your transfers and bring them from Game Week 1 and bench them, that's also viable. But even if you have to play Chilwell in the first 2 games, that's also not a problem. Even if Chelsea won't keep a clean sheet, Chilwell might have some attacking returns, and that's possible. So I think as long as Chilwell remains fit, he's gonna be one of the essentials this season. James is another fine Chelsea asset, but the only problem is he's more injury prone than Ben Chilwell. So if you wanna avoid him for the first 2 game weeks and think to bring him in from Game Week 3 and onwards, that's also fine. That way you could have an idea of he is fit or not to play those easy runs of fixtures for Chelsea. So if you go back and see James' last season's stats, he has only played 16 games and started 14. And scored only 1 goal and assisted twice. So that's why it's better to wait for him until Game Week 3 to kind of see if he is fit and ready to play those easy fixtures. But if he remains fit, I think his ownership will go very high. It's always better to have a defender from the best team in the Premier League, but due to lots of options and rotations amongst the Manchester City defenders, the only name that came into my mind is John Stones. Depending on how many minutes will he get, I think he's going to be a good Manchester City defender option. He also plays out of position in the midfield, so there is a high chance of attacking returns, and of course the clean sheet potential is always there, as City are the best defense in the league and will start the season with some easy fixtures. So if you're confident about his minutes, then he's a good option to bring into your team. Luke Shaw is another 5.5 million defender to consider, especially if you're not going with Onana. He has lots of potential such as attacking potential, clean sheet potential, and he's actually one of the best Manchester United defender to go for. But again, if you're going with Onana, it's not a good idea to double up in Manchester United defense this early in the season. Unless you're willing to do that, then he's a good pick. Gabriel is one of the best Arsenal defender pick, and not only that, he's 0.5 million cheaper than the likes of Luke Shaw, James or Ben Chilwell and etc. He is nailed, his minutes should be good, and he has the most attacking potential amongst the Arsenal defenders. So I think overall he is one of the best Arsenal defender cover than the likes of Zinchenko, Saliba, or even Ben White, who is 0.5 million expensive than him. Let's talk about another 5 million defender, and that's none other than Stepinian. He is one of the most famous defender in FPL so far this season. Brighton have some very good fixture in the opening of the season, and just like Chilwell, James, Luke Shaw, or Gabriel, he also have good attacking potential. And from game week 3 onwards, when the fixture gets difficult, if you have an exit route for him, that's well and good. And if you want to keep him moving forward and you want to bench him, that's also a good idea. But even if you don't have a good bench cover and you want to play him during those difficult fixtures, that's again not very bad. So I think overall you should have him in your team going into the game week 1 deadline. And that's it for today. There are lots of other defensive options that you could go for, but I've only picked these defenders. I hope that you liked the video. If you do so, please click on the thumbs up, and please also make sure to subscribe the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
How it's supposed to feel.